And we are live. Going a little smoother today because we kind of know what we're doing. So, Gabriel, how are you today?
I'm all right. I mean, starting out the day, like having a lot on my plate, I think is challenging. We're going to a Super Bowl party, so I had to plan to cook some stuff for that. We both work out every day.
Over here, I asked you the question.
um, we go to church once a week. So, I mean, just the day is kind of stacked up. I'm okay. I'm okay. Just trying to stay present and roll through it. I mean, we've had like a little bit of like discord, um, which I think is hard on a busy day because there's not a lot of time for, hey, let's just, take a moment, chill, kind of feel our way through this. It's
Mm-hmm.
more like, hey, let's resolve this right now because there's a lot to do today. So that's hard and challenging to people in recovery. I'd say like our emotional wellness is injured, damaged, and in recovery. So it's hard to stretch that. Like running on a broken leg for the first time or whatever. Um, we're still doing the rehabilitation to make all this smoother. Um, I don't know. So I'm okay. Like a little frazzled, a little raw, but not like it hasn't taken me down to the point where I'm like not functioning. So um, yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
I just noticed that I don't know why our thing is ENC gaming right now. Our picture profile.
Oh, I
I don't
did
know
see that, and I was
how.
gonna tell you about it.
Well, thanks.
Sorry. Okay, well, while Noah messes with what our profile picture is on YouTube, I should probably say welcome to our recovery stream talk. If you are popping in or seeing this at some time after this date, we welcome you. Feel free to have a listen. We'll share a little bit about our lives, our recoveries, um, sometimes just what's going on today, sometimes, bigger picture kind of stuff. Um, but we're just here for you guys. So if you've got any questions, comments, feel free to reach out. You can, I think you can comment below the video still, even if it's not live. I'm not positive on that. Haven't had time to look at it, but feel free to contact us, especially if there's issues that you'd like discussed or something that you're working on that you'd like to get some feedback on. We'd love to try to share our experience, strength, and hope. Do you have
Yes, I have a
a
reading.
reading? Okay,
Yes.
let's do that.
Okay. And I won't be able to change the picture until afterwards.
Okay.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Day two, you know? So, we need each other. Anyone may join us, regardless of age, race, sexual identity, creed, religion, or lack of religion. Addiction closed our minds to anything new or different. We didn't need anyone or anything, we thought. There was nothing of value to be found in anyone from a different neighborhood, a different racial or ethnic background, or a different social or economic class. We may have thought that if it was different, it was bad. In recovery, we can't afford such attitudes. We came to NA, which we're not NA, but we accept NA and AA and anybody.
Mm-hmm.
We came to NA because our very best thinking had gotten us nowhere. We must open our minds to experience that works. experience that works no matter where it comes from if we hope to grow in our recovery. Regardless of our personal backgrounds, we all have two things in common with one another in NA that we share with no one else: our disease and our recovery. We depend on one another for our shared experience, and the broader that experience, the better. We need every bit of experience, every different angle on our program we can find to meet the many challenges of living clean. Recovery often isn't easy. The strength we need to recover, we draw from our fellow NA members. Today, we are grateful for the diversity of our group's membership, for in the diversity we find our strength. Just for today, I know that the more diverse my group experience, I know that the more diverse my group's experience is, the better able my group will be to offer me support in the different circumstances I find myself facing. Today, I welcome addicts from all backgrounds in my home group.
That's really good.
Yes, very good. Which I guess it's really good because we're just getting started, you know, with this whole thing, and we do accept everybody. I'm very young. Well, I'm not that young, but
kind of overselling it there. That's all right.
I mean, for somebody that's in recovery,
True,
and trying to stay in recovery, I think.
Yeah.
Of myself as being young, because most of these guys that I go to meetings are much older than me and have a lot of experience, a lot of sober time, and I'm just the young buck who doesn't know shit, basically, you know. So I'm personally hoping to gather more people like me and in my shoes, so that I feel a little bit more, not more welcome, but like at home, and like, oh, there's other young people doing this, and you know, so I can do this, you know.
Yeah. That's a great goal. I mean, especially young people who are considering recovery, you know, or considering stepping out of an addictive lifestyle. I mean, that's huge. And I think it's a hard time of life to do it because there's usually a lot going on. It's very busy. Relationships, kids, jobs, it's a very intense time. And I remember being younger and just being, you know, even not as an addict, being in a very survival place just with life in general. So I think that would be very hard, and we'd love to hear perspectives from anybody who is kind of stepping into this or not stepping into it. I mean, if you're choosing not to be in recovery, you're welcome here as well.
If you're just wondering what it's like to be sober, or you're scared to take those first steps, I mean, we're not going to bite. We're not going to pressure you into or make you feel guilty for your ways.
Absolutely. I mean,
shoot, I wish I could be that guy that could just, only have one drink, you know? But I can't. I'll never be that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Recovery is so much about like acceptance, just, you know, getting in touch with reality, what is. From the reading, like I really like that about like the diversity of our groups, how much that brings to the table when you have a variety of people, a variety of whatever experiences, ages, races, sexuality, whatever, you know, whatever the differences or similarities are. I feel like that is so broadening. for all of us. My personal experience with this is my Al-Anon group, which I joined when Noah started AA, and it was different than I ever expected. The people are different than I ever expected. There's no one like me, air quotes, coming from like my most common environments would be like a work environment or a school environment. So like school moms, like me and the other school moms, there's so many similarities in that group of people. Um, and work, if you work with people, you just kind of get used to each other and you're all doing kind of the same thing. So it has a very like mesh kind of feeling. But recovery is, it's not the first place, obviously, that I've been exposed to diversity, but the first place where I've really opened up and allowed myself to belong to something where I didn't feel like I perfectly belonged. I'm not like everybody else, and it's not like all of them are the same. Like everybody's different. There's nobody there who can say, we're all the same and we're all doing the same thing, and therefore we fit in. We're all different and all have different struggles and different experiences, and that is just really helpful to be able to talk to other people and hear their life experiences and say, oh, I really relate to that, or I don't relate to that at all. I never even thought about that. It just really opens up your eyes to the variety of lifestyles and the variety of struggles. Really, I can be real like, my struggles are the worst and my life is the most important, and that's really narrow-minded. So that's my thoughts on the reading.
Okay then.
Sorry, I'm a little tired. Not a 10-mile run today, like not even 5, like 4 point something. But we had a little better weather today, some sunshine, which we're in Michigan, so this is like, hallelujah. We're coming from the negative temperatures, which were brutal. We were literally like trapped indoors, couldn't run outdoors. In fact, our gym where we run on the treadmills closed because it was so cold. Like a lot of things closed here. So it was wonderful to just get out and breathe the fresh air and run down the road and see the trees and the muddy rivers and everything else that's out there. Am I blabbing on too long? Do you got stuff?
I do not.
Okay.
You blab on as much as you can. Keep this stream going, babe.
Right. Okay. Let me think, because there's been a lot of things that I've been working on. I'm constantly in recovery, so this is, I try not to turn recovery into an addiction, because this is kind of my thing, just going all into things. So trying to, rein myself in, like do recovery as it is appropriate and helpful to my life, and not in an obsessive way. But that's just to say, I always have things that I'm working on. There's just so much. I hate to just like bore you guys with like my inner monologue. I guess I could talk about judgments. This is like a huge theme for me. It's something that comes up in like my Al-Anon meetings regularly, therapy groups. I mean, this is like a theme, at least on the co-addict side. I don't know so much on the addict side. I'll give you a chance to address like judgments if you have anything there. But for me, like judgments are this way of distancing myself from things that feel scary or dangerous. So, it's been a real journey for me in dealing with Noah's addiction and his recovery, to not just like slap a judgment on him, to distance myself. Like, oh, he's just an alcoholic. or he's just, this, that, or the other thing. And I'm over here. I'm over here in the safe zone, the good zone, whatever. And I've done that with things my whole life. If it's an organization that I have a problem with, some kind of rules that they impose, the school, like how the school disciplines my kids, my mother, like her, views about my lifestyle or whatever. Judgments have been a way for me to cope with those things, to cope with the complexities of life and disapproval, pain, anything that caused me discomfort, really. I could slap a judgment on it and just get out of there. That kind of like seals it up. Like, hey, you're judged. Not good, not good enough, not anything that I want. Seal it up, throw it away. But being in a relationship with an addict and trying to work through that and stick through that makes it impossible, or at least unproductive, for me to fall back on judgments, because I love Noah and I want to work on a relationship with him. So for me to judge him, seal him up, push him off to the side is not going to get me where I want. It's not causing growth in me, and it's not opening me up to his experience. Which is just challenging. It's just challenging all the way around. This is a tool I've relied on my entire life. And to kind of try to break out of that mold, realize that I am not a supreme being, that I have no right to judgments of other people, organizations, lifestyles, anything. And that I'm just one person moving among all the other people. And the more open I can be to other people's experiences, choices, struggles, the better I'm going to get along in life, and the more I'm going to grow as a person. It's kind of a long rant, but what do you think about judgments? Do you have them? Do you use them? Are you subject to them a lot as like an addict?
I mean, I'm always judging, which is a really bad thing. And I try not to. I judge other people drinking. I judge too much and try to just let it go. Let it go. Never seen the movie. And
we have to change that.
Nope. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Well, this is probably an issue a lot of people have. So, I mean, talk about like what's the judgment for? What are you getting when you slap a judgment on a person, a situation, whatever? Like, what is that doing for you?
Usually it's just to, I guess, make myself feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And like I almost like this smug, I know that I'm an alcoholic and I've admitted it. And these people can't,
Mm-hmm.
And I try not to. It's, who knows? They may not even be alcoholics.
So it's hard to just feel good, like I'm in recovery, and that feels good, and I know that's right for me. Like there has to be that other piece of like somebody else isn't doing this, or isn't, whatever. Just curious. Yeah. Is my angle bad? Sorry. He's trying to get my good side, everybody. You're going to be looking for a while.
I'll tell you what to do about streaming and talking and stuff like that.
Oh,
and
okay.
do's and don'ts. I love you.
Fabulous.
I love you.
I love you.
These are just our first ones, so.
Right. Right. We'll get it dialed in.
Mhm.
Trying to think of, like relatable things. Like we don't, have anybody in chat yet to say, hey, I'm struggling with this, that, or the other thing.
Yeah.
What I do think about because I have a 15-year-old son and 11-year-old daughter, and these are like basically Noah's stepchildren, so he's like dealing with some of this as well. Um, Dealing with addiction and you being, a little bit younger than me and kind of having run this addiction course from, I don't know, when do you think it started? Like 18-ish? Like,
No. Definitely
no.
not. Definitely not my alcohol
No, okay.
addiction. I mean,
Okay. So older.
I would
Okay.
say that was, 4 years ago.
Okay.
Like,
Well, I'm
started
talking, but
because,
like you drank.
right, I
Like,
drank, but I don't think to the extent that, like, I was getting. Maybe that was just the beginning of my problems coming out.
okay. Well, what I'm thinking about it in relation to, like, say, a 15-year-old, the years are approaching, if they're not already here, where he's going to have the opportunities, um, to have access to alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
drugs, sex, whatever. Um, and as a parent, like, what do you do with that? Like, I've seen and experienced a lot of the, like, what not to do. My parents did the very strict, um drinking's wrong, sex is from the devil, and
Yeah.
drugs will kill you, melt your brain, but not like a lot of actual information,
Right.
nothing really helpful.
Yeah.
So
I know. I think. Well, my parents. I can just tell you how my parents
mhm,
were.
mhm,
My dad was. He drinks, but definitely, I never saw a problem with his drinking. Um, and that gave me hope. Like, okay, good. It's not
mhm,
gonna be. I'm not gonna. I don't know.
mhm.
My mom, she didn't drink until I drank in high school. So, like, I didn't drink during high school. I didn't drink until I was 18, right?
Mhm.
Um, Good old college. uh, but I think the drinking never made me feel guilty about doing or anything. It was mostly uh, when I smoked weed. That's when, like, I
Mm,
felt. I think because the chemicals in the yeah, like,
mhm,
just it made me feel like super paranoid, super
mhm,
uh I don't know. It made me feel so guilty, and like my parents were gonna, like, they would hate me, and then, like,
mm,
almost like abandon me if they knew that I had smoked weed.
mhm,
Like, these were like the fears and thoughts, like.
mhm. So, so the messages you got, like growing up about like alcohol and drugs, it
Mhm.
sounds like were, pretty like open-ish. Does that sound accurate? Like, was there information? Like, did you guys talk about drugs and alcohol, or was it more like, because some parents do the like,
Mhm.
once you hit this certain age cutoff, then it's just fine, go do
I really
whatever.
don't remember. I think
Okay.
it was mostly uh don't do it, or
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It was
Mm-hmm.
just implied. Like, I felt like it was
Mm-hmm.
such a no.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. I definitely don't want to take just like a don't do it approach with my kids. Um, but I don't know. I'm not sure what the right messages are to convey. I guess it's probably just going to boil down to open communication. You know, if they feel like they can come to me or you or their dad or, you know, a caring adult
Right.
to talk about whatever, you know, oh, I've tried drinking or marijuana. I have these feelings about it. Because basically, honestly, I just don't want to play a role in like driving my kids to addiction, you know,
Right.
like I want to be helpful for their future life. And maybe that's like a lofty goal because like we all have issues from our childhood. Like I don't think any parent does it perfect, as much as they might try. But okay, okay. So I'm not sure. It's to be continued.
Right.
Right, right. If you are a teen, have a teen, whatever, I'd love to hear your your take on this. You know, what messages have you heard about alcohol, drugs, sex, whatever? What's been helpful? What would you like to hear? You know, I'm just interested.
Mm-hmm. So I guess that's it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, we'll be back, but we have to do a little more cooking for the Super Bowl party. It is an AA Super Bowl party, so this is our first experience doing recovery fun. So
Right. Yeah.
I would say, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but that both of us come from a background of if it's fun, there's alcohol or other substances. So, you know, weddings, graduations, everything, there would always be alcohol involved. So this is new for us, and I hope it'll be a great experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sober people enjoying the Super Bowl.
Right.
Could be great, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm more nervous about the whole social aspect because I always had to drink to be able to talk to people.
Yeah.
So.
Without the alcohol, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Wish me luck.
Right. Which is so funny because people always just like love you and talk to you, but it's like that is, you know, inside you. Like you don't see that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
funny. But okay, are we wrapping up?
Yep.
Okay, so we love you guys. Support you in your life struggles, recovery or not. Would love to hear from you. We will try to be on every day. If we miss a day here and there, that's life. We have kids and another streaming business, so there's just a lot going on. But we'll do our best to be here each day and to address any issues that you raise. So enjoy the Super Bowl.
Yeah, definitely.
Go Pats or Rams.
Oh, I don't have a stream ending, so bye.